there is an argument to make that Dana White and the UFC matchmakers are officially worse than Adolf Hitler in terms of being evil. I'm here to talk about one of the worst UFC champion fights in a minute since fucking Cheeto versus O'Malley 2. Volk versus Diego Lopez 2 is the worst thing to happen in human history since World War II. I'm here to rant about it because this just does so much. It does nothing for his legacy besides the potential of fucking tanking it. The UFC is trying to fuck Volk for no reason other than the fact that they love Mexicans. I understand. I like Mexicans. I think they're very cool. Why is Diego Lopez getting a title shot off of a Gene Silva fluke KO? Okay, it's not a fluke. We won't get into that. But why is he getting a title shot off of beating Gene Silva? There is a problem with the matchmaking in the UFC. Now, it's been a problem for a long time in moments in spouts, like where there were fights that slipped away, especially last year. Like, we didn't get John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. We didn't get Islam versus Ilya, which I know in their own right, each fight had sort of reasons as to why they never came to fruition. John Jones ducked Tom the entire time, then backed out after he was offered $30 million because they called his bluff, and John Jones is a pussy, so he didn't want to get knocked out on live television. I understand. I'm also a bitch, John. I also would not agree to fight Tom the Bomb Aspinall for millions of dollars. In the Ilya and Islam fight, I know some people say Islam ran. I can see that. Maybe I'm biased because I love Islam, but I wouldn't call what he did ducking. At least it wasn't as blatant as John Jones with Tom the Bomb Aspinall. Because with Islam, he surpassed Khabib as the most defensive lightweight champion. Like, he had the most title defenses. I think he had 5. He took the belt off. Who the fuck did he take the belt off? Charles, duh. He submitted Charles, defended twice against Volk, and then he beat the fuck out of Dustin, and then he obliterated Moicano. Yeah, he already proved he was the greatest lightweight of all time. And I know Ilya wanted to move up very quickly after... Did Ilya had 1 title defense against the GOAT? We got fluked, it's okay. But after 1 title defense in the featherweight division, Ilya moves up, goes to lightweight, but unfortunately, the whole shit with Bilal and JDM, everyone knew Islam wanted to move up. So it wasn't, again, I can see why some people say Islam was ducking. I don't agree with that because Islam was already planning on moving, and I can't I can't solidify this, but I have a feeling just off of who Islam has already beat, Prime Volk, Prime Charles, then he beat Prime JDM, which prior to him destroying JDM, everybody thought JDM was going to be an actual hard matchup for Islam. You could go to all the MMA content creators on YouTube, MMA Guru, Bedtime, I think even Lucas, they were all leaning towards JDM because of his takedown defense that he showed against Bilal, the fact that he's a magnificent striker, he is bigger, he's stronger, he's the biggest person Islam has ever faced up until this point. Everyone thought JDM was going to be a tricky match. I thought JDM was going to be a tricky match. I was so excited for UFC 322 because that's when Islam fought JDM, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be one of the greatest fights of all time. And it wasn't. It was very boring because of how good Islam was. Islam fucked JDM. I like JDM. I'm sorry. I like JDM, but I'm a bigger Islam fan. But Islam, he put on an amazing performance. It wasn't super entertaining, but that's not really Islam's fault. You're in an MMA fight. If you can't defend the grappling, oh fucking well, right? But anyways, I keep fucking spouting on. What I'm saying is, Islam was always destined to become a double champ. He was always going to move up, and he's buddies with Bilal. If Bilal beat JDM, I truly think, and Islam and Khabib did confirm this, but obviously we don't know because a different story unfolded, but if Bilal beat JDM, Islam would have stayed at lightweight, and he would have fought Ilya. And that would have been the most important MMA fight since fucking Khabib versus Conor. Or maybe not important, but the most hyped, I'll say. To me, it's important because that's just pure legacy. Whoever beat who, Ilya versus Islam, whichever fighter won, has the resume to be the greatest of all time at that point. Whoever beat who in that match, which at this point we probably will never get. So yes, when it comes to matchmaking, there were instances where it's like, fuck, dude, these were dream matchups. They were right there, but they didn't happen, and they didn't happen for their own reason. Fair, I understand. Explain to me why the fuck Volk is fighting Diego Lopez again. He just fought him. Bro, Volk came back against all odds. He's like 50 years old now. He's like 36. And obviously, prior to him winning, there's like the 35 curse where it's like no one 35 or above has ever won the belt or the title in the lighter weight divisions like featherweight, bantamweight. Everybody was kind of counting Volk out, right? Like, because he was going against Diego Lopez, a young, hungry contender who has knockout power. Volk, unfortunately, in the recent years has shown time and time again his chin is not the greatest. He not only was he dropped by Holloway. That's right. We did that. Did we lose 3 times? Yes, but we dropped him. We dropped him. Not only did we drop him, but he did get knocked out by Islam round 1. You know, weak notice, whatever the fuck. But he got knocked out bad, and then he turned around. What was it, like a fucking? Was it 3 months when he fought Ilya? I swear. I'll look it up right now and I'll put it right on screen. But I swear he fought Ilya like fucking 3 months after getting knocked out. Ilya, the knockout guy. And he decided to fight him. Bro, your brain's already fried. You get knocked out like that because when Islam got him, he got him clean with a fucking head kick. And then he followed up. Bro, you need to take a year, right? Like, that's the smart thing to do if you get fucking put to sleep like that. Volk, who is known as one of the most highly fight IQ fighters out there, very intelligent, just knows how to dismantle everybody he's come against, decides to make the 300 IQ move to fight Ilia Topuria, a boxer, a killer at featherweight, 3 months after getting knocked out. What the fuck happens? Boom. Knocked out round 2. Okay, this is the beginning downfall that we've seen before. Anderson Silva, Izzy, Robbie Lawler, all these like great fighters who, Tony Ferguson, all these great fighters who the moment they start losing back to back, you just don't see them winning. Even though they may not even washed. Maybe they are washed, but they're not horrible. You just don't see them winning against the current killers in the division, especially the highly ranked contenders. He gets put against Diego Lopez for the vacant belt because Ilya moves up. Okay, fine. Everyone's kind of thinking, man, bro, Volk's going to get fucked. But there are a lot amount of people, I won't rewrite history, there were a lot amount of people who were actually, I think Bedtime MMA, he was standing tall, like, dude, Volk's actually going to dance around Diego and fuck him up. Like, Diego's not winning. And Volk fucked him up. Volk won, what was it, like 49-46? Like, Volk was fucking... Diego had a few moments where he rocked him. I think in round 2 he rocked him bad. But he couldn't do shit to Volk. Volk looked... He didn't look like prime Volk. He did look a bit slower. But he looked like vintage Volk in the sense of you felt comfortable with him. Like, you knew he was controlling the pace. You knew this guy's going to win a decision, but he's going to win. And he's going to do it entertainingly. He's going to do it where he's going to, you know what I mean? Whatever that, I don't know what that means. But you know what I'm saying. Volk won. He beat Diego Lopez. Fantastic. I think most of the GOATs in the UFC and MMA, to prove you are a GOAT, not only do you have to beat sort of the legends, the old heads in your division who are not yet washed, but who are at maybe the barely decline of their career, like Hamzat beating Usman. Great win. Great win. I think Usman was not washed at that time, but he obviously was not on that dominant 15-fight win streak. Still a great win. One of Hamzat's best wins, if not his best win. Maybe you can argue DDP's better, just because DDP was solidified in his prime. Regardless, great win by Hamzat. Not only do you have to beat the old legends, the established veterans in your division, but I think to really prove how goated you are, and this is what fucking Max is my favorite, to really prove how goated you are, beat the younger guys as well. Like, beat the guys who are on that fire, hungry win streak and just knock them down. Because if you beat the younger guys, they're obviously going to be in the game a lot longer. Those wins are going to age like fine wine. Max beating Arnold Allen. Max beating Ortega at the time. These were fantastic wins, bro. Like, it's so goated. I'm thinking of another example of someone beating like a young guy. Murad beating Umar. Murad being the first fighter to take Umar's Fantastic win. These are the wins that just increased your longevity in the sport of MMA. So Volk beating Diego Lopes the first time for the vacant belt, fantastic. I'm more than certain it's going to age well. In fact, it already has aged well with Diego fluking Gene Silva. Okay, it wasn't exactly a fluke. I know, I saw the fight. I know he kind of 10-8'd Gene on the ground in the first round, but I guarantee you, rewatch that fight. I'm just saying, man, Gene was fucking him up on the feet, man. I'm just saying. We need that rematch. We need it now, because I guarantee you, Gene Silva is a better fighter than Diego Lopes. I like them both. I like them both. Did Gene Silva get dominated in the first round? Yes. Did he get knocked out in the second round? Yes. Gene Silva will win the next fight. They will rematch, and Gene Silva will fuck him up. I guarantee you that. If I'm wrong, may God murder my children. If I'm wrong, may God strike down my son today. Right now, today. So Volk beats Diego Lopes the first fight. Fantastic win. And we're all wanting him to fight either Movsar or Lerone Murphy. Two contenders who I would say probably deserve it the most in the featherweight division. If you really nitpick their careers and what they've done, you can make arguments why they don't deserve it. Movsar's been sitting the fuck out. Lerone, who's he beat? Josh Emmett, Aaron Pico, UFC debuting. It's like, But then you understand, okay, but these two guys are both top 5 in their division. They have beaten everybody. They're both undefeated. No matter what, whichever fighter Volk fights, it's going to be a fantastic win. Imagine beating an undefeated contender as your retirement fight. Like if Volk beats Lerone or if Volk beats Movsar and then just retires, that's it. What a staple. He's already the greatest featherweight of all time. Now imagine doing that. I think most people put Volk top 5, but there is like the old head argument like, oh no, it's always going to be DJ. It's always going to be Anderson Silva, John Jones, GSP, DC. If Volk beat Movsar or Lerone as his final fight, that's top fucking 5, bro. You are booting Aldo out the fucking conversation. You're booting Anderson, who's a cheat, who fought fucking cans. I know Forrest Griffin, yeah, very cool. No. What Volk is doing right now, but that's the problem. He's not fighting either of them. He's fighting Diego Lopes again. Oh my God. I don't know what Dana White is thinking. I mean, I know the argument, Dana White and the UFC love Mexicans. Like, they want Mexican champions because there's apparently a big crowd, a big fan base over there in Mexico who always show love and support for Mexicans. Who gives a fuck, dude? Like, Diego Lopes is fun to watch. Sure, I get that. But I mean, he had his chance. Yes, he beat Gene Silva. That was a fantastic win. Have him fight Yair when Yair is ready. That's the perfect... There's a blood feud there. It makes sense in the rankings. Yair does not deserve a title shot either. My God, they almost gave it to him. I swear they would have gave it to him if he wasn't fucking injured. Thank you, Yair, for being injured. That's some hoe shit. Never mind. I take that back. Yair and Diego make so much more sense. Stylistically, it'd be fucking amazing. 5-round main event. Should have been UFC no chat. I understand Yair's injured. Thank God he's not fighting Volk. But bro, if they grant Yair with a title shot off an injury, off of just coming off of a layoff, oh my God, I'm getting chills down my spine because the UFC is so fucking stupid and Dana White is a terrorist to this organization. I can see them doing that. Bro, I'm getting chills. I'm getting goosebumps, dude. I don't want to see that shit. Yair versus Diego makes so much more sense. It obviously depends on how badly injured, how long of a layoff Yair's going to need to be on, but for Diego Lopes to get a title shot against Volk off of a Gene Silva win, fucking fight Arnold Allen, which again, Gene Silva fan, why the fuck is he fighting Arnold Allen? He does not deserve that shot. What? Oh my God. Dude, I'm getting angry just thinking about the matchmaking. Oh, bro. Okay, so the point of this video was to shit on Diego Lopes versus Volk 2. Horrible, terrible fight because Diego Lopes has the chance to fucking fluke knock out Volk, and that's how he's going to send off? That's his career? Getting fluke KO'd by Diego Lopes? That's crazy. Who already lost to Movsar. Like, Diego Lopes is fun. He's cool. I don't think he's top 3 caliber, bro. Like, maybe top 5. I don't see Diego Lopes being like a reigning champion. I see him being a fun, like, title contender. You know what I mean? Like a Colby, although Colby wasn't fun to watch. You know what I mean? Just like being in that top 5 for a minute. Unless Diego crazily improves his skill, he's just a fucking meaty ass blockhead. He has great jiu-jitsu, but bro, I'm getting pissed. My whole point of this video was to rant about Volk versus Diego Lopez too, but real quick, because I've been talking way too long, Usman versus Islam, I'm gonna make that its own video. That, and then, oh dude, I like Kenny Okoye from on MMA YouTube. He's like, I think he likes the fight. I'm pretty sure from what I've seen, he's like co-signing the fight, or he's like, man, I don't know, man, Kamaru Usman would be Islam's best test or his biggest test or whatever the fuck. I understand that argument. Usman 1-3 getting a title shot? We should not be validating these patterns. We should not be giving Diego Lopez a title shot. Cheeto should have never gotten a title shot. There are so many title shots that are undeserved. We should not be validating them and co-signing them just because they sound fun. Why is Patty fighting for the interim belt? Patty, Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green, the most Mickey Mouse ass run to the belt ever, and he's fighting for the interim belt so he could get fluked. Not fluked. No. So he could get murdered by Ilia Topuria round 1 when Ilia's done with his fucking divorce shit. Oh. I hate that this is my first video where I'm just like yelling at the mic. Let me calm down. But I literally had to create a YouTube channel to just vent my frustrations, because I feel like there's a good amount of the MMA community that agrees with me that a lot of these title shots are just Mickey Mouse WWE ass title shots. Like, they don't fucking make sense skill wise. They just make sense revenue wise, name value wise. Oh, Patty's a fucking celebrity. Give him a title shot. Oh, Kamaru Usman, he's pretty big. Give him a title shot. And that's just in the works. That's just speculated. Fucking Ali, little fucking rat. He just fucking keeps ruining the end. Oh, I hate Ali, dude. He's fucking cringe. Cringe manager. And Diego Lopez versus Volk 2 does nothing. If Volk beats Diego Lopez again, okay, that's cool. Everyone think he's as goated as we once thought. But it's not a new test. Movzar is way more of an interesting stylistic matchup against Volk. Even Lerone is. So I think Movzar is probably the most deserving, even with him sitting out, just because he's beat Arnold Allen, which I know was a split. I know a lot of people consider a robbery or controversial. But he beat, on paper, he did beat Arnold. He beat Aljo. He's beat a lot of fucking people, undefeated. It's an interesting stylistic matchup against Volk. He's good at grappling. His striking is underrated. And obviously, on paper, you know, the whole, what do you call it? When you view something on a materialistic lens, the whole, there's a word, optics. The optics of fucking beating an undefeated Russian fighter with their last name ending with a fucking E or a V or an OV, some shit like that. It's just gonna look so good on Volk's legacy, and Volk deserves that because he is one of the greatest fighters of all time, one of the greatest fighters alive right now, and you're gonna give him a fluke KO artist again for no reason. Dude, bro, oh, terrible. This is an omen for the I'm so excited for the Paramount deal because I have, my girlfriend has Paramount Plus, so it's just gonna be a lot easier for me to get on this shit. And I actually watch it on my laptop, so I could possibly even stream reactions to the fights now, which is going to be very fun, very entertaining. But, dude, this is the energy we're headed in. The worst thing that they could do is make Alex versus Jones at the White House. Oh my fucking god, if they do that. Dude, I'm getting goosebumps because it's a possibility. Okay, I got to end this video now. Like and subscribe. I promise I'm not a negative Nancy, even though this video makes it seem like it. I love the UFC. I absolutely love MMA. I think it's so fun to watch. It's easily my favorite sport. We love Max. We love Max Holloway. I'll try to make more positive content, but I'm gonna have to rant about Kamaru Usman versus Islam very soon. But like and subscribe. Let's get crazy.